Good MornYIN, everyone, and welcome to today's sequence. Today we'll be doing some yin hip openers, back openers, and some shoulder openers to get you nice and nimble, ready to start the week. This is a great sequence when getting out of bed, kind of just to open up your body. It's also a great sequence if you are going to bed. I know this session stays recorded, so this is also a great session to kind of stretch out right before bed. Also serves well for athletic recovery. I've been surfing a bunch, so this is a great little sequence to stay out of that tight zone. So first, let's just begin in a Sukhasana posture, cross-legged seated. Close your eyes and just begin to breathe and scan your body. In through the nose and out through the nose. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears and create a long line of energy from the root of your tailbone all the way through the crown of your head. Just breathe and scan your body. Tune into the now. Avoid all those foreign thoughts and just tap into the body. Tap into your drishti, your third eye. Just tune in and tune out the distractions. Focus on your normal breathing as it will contrast from the three-part breath we will proceed with. How do your hips feel today? How does your back feel, your neck? These are how do the shoulders feel? These are the questions you have to ask yourself every day so you know what you have to address. There's a different posture for every pain. But to do these postures requires discipline. Okay, now that you're tuned in today, I invite you to set some intentions for today's practice. You can dedicate them to yourself, you can dedicate them to somebody else. You can take note of this sequence and help somebody else with a few of these postures perhaps. Now that we're tuned in to our normal breathing, I invite you to commence three-part breath, which is filling up the belly, then the ribs, and then finally the chest on an inhale through the nose. You pause at the top, and then you kind of compress the chest, then the ribs, and finally the belly, pressing your navel all the way to your spine, letting out all the toxins, all that carbon dioxide. And then on the inhale, bring in new oxygen, new life, new energy. So fill up the belly, then the ribs, and finally the chest. And notice how much of a deeper inhale you're able to get with a three-part breath compared to just your normal breathing. A three-part breath is a great exercise for relieving anxiety, relieving stress. So if you're ever having a tough moment, just begin a 3-part breath and get some new air. Now you've dialed in that 3-part breath, make your way onto your back and continue that 3-part breath from a supine position. So just start off in a Shavasana pose. This is also the pose we will end up in once all the medicine has kicked in and you want to let your body absorb all the new energy, all the new oxygen, all the new medicine. Because yoga is medicine. Through the belly, the ribs, the chest, and exhale equally as long, but this time from the chest, the ribs, and the belly. This whole practice will be done inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Bend your left knee, interlace your fingers, and give your left knee a hug. See how that feels on your hip, right here. Left foot flexed. Release the left knee. Hugging that right knee to the chest. Release the right knee. Hug both knees. Perhaps give your knees a kiss. And grab your knees. To little circles. The other direction. Make your way onto all fours as we begin to warm up the spine. Your fingers should be spread apart wide with your index fingers pointed towards the front of the mat. Index fingers parallel with each other and also parallel with the edges of your mat. Your elbows are stacked on top of your wrists, and your shoulders are stacked over your elbows with a micro bend in the elbow. Knees are stacked directly underneath your hips. Create a long line between your tailbone and the crown of your head. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears as you lengthen the neck, creating space. And you press down on the tops of your feet. This is tabletop pose. As you inhale, raise your tailbone, drop your belly, and shift your gaze forward. This is a cow pose. Exhale, press against the mat. Shift your gaze towards your navel and round your spine so that you look like an angry cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now move your hands up a couple of inches. Let's make our way into a curl the toes. And we're just going to do a half downward dog from our knees. We're going to keep the shoulders still away from the ears. And create that long line of energy with your back. Option 2, spread your hips wide and just go into a child's pose. It's also a great hip opener and also a great go-to posture when you're feeling that the practice is a bit too much and you're feeling short of breath and you want to just tune back in and regather yourself, regather your thoughts, regather your breath. Drop the right shoulder to the mat and swing the right hand through. Extend the left arm and shift your gaze up towards the sky. A few breaths here. Bring the left palm in front of your face, press against the mat, and rise up. Bring the left arm across and drop your left shoulder. Extend the right arm and shift your gaze up. Bring the right arm, right palm in front of your face. Press against the mat, rise up. Curl the toes and raise your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. It's the first one of the day, so you can walk the dog, which is extending the right while bending the left, and vice versa. Just kind of see how that first downward dog of the day feels. And slowly inch our hands back. to meet your toes. Bend your knees, round your spine slowly. Articulate vertebra by vertebra. And then slowly, with each step, feeling all the energy from the earth, make your way to the top of the mat. Once you reach the top of the mat, have your feet at mat width distance. Press the palms together at heart center. Bend your knees, drop your hips, and make your way into a malasana pose. With your knees pressing against your elbows and your elbows pressing against your knees, allowing your heart to shine. Now roll onto your bum. Extend the left leg, fold it over your right, and then grab your shins with your hands. Grab your left with your right and your right with your left. And you pull your knees towards your chest. Continue the 3-part breath. You can grab at different lengths and levels of the shin depending on what feels okay. Tune into the 3-part breath. Get a few successful breaths in. Release the shins. Drop the right foot down. Shift your hips over to the left side of the mat. And let your legs fall over to the right side, keeping both shoulders rooted down to the earth. Raise the legs back up, return the hips to the center, unhook the left leg, and hug your knees in. Bring your head to your knees, and allow your body to realign. Drop the feet back down underneath your knees. This time extend the right leg, fold it over the left, grab your shins and pull them back for a hip stretch and also a back opener. Many issues with back pain are rooted in the hips, so if you avoid tight hips, you avoid back pain. Ask yourself, does one side feel tighter than the other? This is normally the case. This is not anything abnormal. Although we try to root down and we aim for symmetry and being balanced, it's often not the case. Release the shins. Drop the left foot down, and this time allow your legs to cascade over to the left side while keeping both shoulders rooted down. Three-part breath, belly, ribs, chest, and then chest, ribs, belly for the exhale. Raise the legs back up, shift the hips back to the center, unhook that right knee, give both your knees a hug, allow your body to realign. Drop your feet back down underneath your knees, extend the left leg, bend it over the right, creating a figure four, and then reaching through the window, interlace your fingers, grab the right hamstring and wedge your left elbow on your left inner thigh, and keeping the right knee at 90 degrees and the right foot flexed, pull back on that hamstring. This is a reverse pigeon. If the sitting allows it, you can also do this posture with your foot on the wall as such, and then you keep this thigh pressed open. On the wall, you actually get a way deeper stretch. Tap into the breath, let the pranayama flow. Unhook the left, place that left foot on the wall, extend the right, fold it over the left. Oof, definitely tighter on this side and I can feel it. Ground down that tailbone and the shoulders, and keep that right thigh pressed open. Dial it into the breath and just flow. Let the air come in, flow all through your body, and let all that negative energy come right out with those deep exhales. Without breathing, we're not doing yoga, we're just stretching. So continue to breathe and continue to focus on it. Unhook that right knee. Make your way back onto your back. Take your feet off the wall if you were using that option. And then just give your knees another big hug. Press your feet back down on the mat. Extend the left leg, fold it over again, just as you did for the previous posture. Shift your hips over to the left side of the mat, and then drop that left foot to the right side. And then you grab that left ankle with your right hand, and you keep the energy of this thigh away from you. And then root both shoulders, and then feel the stretch. As you exhale, I want you to drive this energy further and further away from you with that thigh. And if you're doing this practice on your own, you're welcome to hold these postures as long as you need to. You can hold them for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, as long as you can afford to. Bring the legs back up to center, shift the hips back to the middle, extend that left leg, bring it down, extend that right leg, and fold it over, creating a figure four. Shift your hips over to the right side of the mat, and drop your right foot over to the left side of your body. Grab that right ankle with your left hand, root the shoulders down, and then drive that thigh away from you. Allow yourself to melt into these postures. And just focus on the breathing. Continue to scan your body and compare and contrast the postures on one side compared to the other. Focus on what you need to work on, and maybe those will be your next intentions for your next practice. Release the right ankle, raise the legs back up, shift the hips back to the center. Bring the feet back down and give yourself another big hug. And hug yourself like you mean it, like you love yourself. Feet back down, underneath your knees. Heel toe the feet as wide as the mat so that your outer edges are parallel with the outer edges of the mat. And then you allow your feet to fall to the left side. Option to place the left foot over the right thigh for a deeper stretch, and then just keep the shoulders rooted. Tap back into the 3-part breath. Unhook the left foot. Bring the knees back up. And allow them to fall to the right side. And if your practice allows it, place the right foot over the left thigh for a deeper stretch and a deeper twist. Continue the belly, the ribs, and the chest for the inhale. And exhale through the chest, the ribs, and the belly. Unhook the right foot. Bring your knees back up to the center. And then do some windshield wipers. Just let them fall to the right, then the left, and the right, the left. Simulate windshield wipers on your car with your knees. Again, give your knees one more hug. And reach in the insides of your knees, pressing the elbows into the knees, and you grab on the outer edge of your foot, of your feet, and then you press those feet up towards the sky into your hands, and then you pull on those feet with your hands, keeping your tailbone rooted down for a happy baby. Welcome to sway side to side and massage your lower back. Release the feet. Press the soles of your feet together, creating a diamond with your legs. Rest your palms gently on your thighs and allow your legs to cascade open. Just let gravity work its magic. Remove the hands from the thighs. Extend the legs. One big stretch of the body. Extending the legs as far as possible from the arms. And bring the knees up to 90 degrees with a 90-degree fold. And fall over to the left side. Stacking your hips, stacking your knees, your ankles, your feet. Even your fingers. And twist over to the left side. The goal here being to root down that left shoulder. Return to the stack. Now let's shift that stack over to the left side. Thighs at 90 degrees from the torso, knees bent at 90 degrees. Stack and twist over to the right side. And root down that right elbow, that right shoulder. Turn over to your left side. And make your way back into a Sukhasana position. And tap back into the breath, the 3-part breath. And I want you to compare how you feel in this posture now that we've concluded the hip opening and the back opening sequence. How does it feel now? Do you feel a little more limber, a little looser, a little more open? Well, make your way onto your feet, and we're going to proceed to the shoulder openers. We're going to start off in a mountain pose with your toes together, heels slightly spread apart, tucking our tailbone in, keeping our shoulders drawing away from the ears, palms facing forward, legs active, abs active, shoulders drawing down, arms active. Spread the arms out wide and bring your left elbow underneath your right elbow. And then you press your palms together, and then you drive those elbows away from your shoulders, splitting apart those shoulder blades. Continue to breathe. This is a great stretch for surfers, for swimmers, for people on the computer way too long. Release the grip. Roll the shoulders back. Roll the shoulders forward. Arms out wide. This time bring the right elbow underneath the left. Go ahead and hook the palms. Press the palms against each other and draw those elbows away from your shoulder blades. You should feel your upper back opening up. Maintain the good posture. Unhook the hands. Roll the shoulders again. Roll them forward. Now this time you can either press your palms together behind your back, which is the tougher option, or you can just simply press your knuckles together. Let's see how my body feels today. I'll go for the tougher option first. Nope, my body's not allowing it today, so I'm just gonna stick with the knuckles. Remember to not abandon the breath. Do not abandon your concentration. Release the hands. And again, roll those shoulders back. Roll those shoulders forward. Left palm towards the sky. Raise up and touch your shoulder blade. And with your right arm, you rotate the tricep inward before pushing it down your back. Keeping your head and gaze pointed forward with your chin parallel to the ground. Just push that left hand as far down your back as you can. Option to reach across with your right hand and interlace the fingers. If your practice doesn't allow it, you can use a strap. Release the interlace. Bring the palm back over. Roll the shoulders. Right palm towards the sky. Bring it over your back and touch your shoulder blade. Rotate the tricep inward. And then push that hand as far down your back as you can. Continue to breathe. Continue to maintain your good posture. Option to reach across the back and interlace the fingers. Use a strap if you can't quite reach. Release the grip. Bring your hands back down the side. Now reach across your body with your left hand. So reach across your back with your left hand so that it's right here. Then you grab your elbow with that left hand. And then you grab your other elbow with your right hand. Tap back into your posture. And continue to breathe. Now avoid dumping in the lower back here. You want to have that tailbone tucked in underneath your hips. Release the left elbow. Release the right elbow. Roll the shoulders forward and back. Now bring that right arm across your back so it's on your left side. Grab your left elbow and then reach across and grab your right elbow, keeping that tailbone tucked underneath your hip and maintaining good posture. And relax and melt into this shoulder stretch. Continue to breathe, continue to focus. Compare how this felt with the other elbow grasp. One side tighter than the other. Now release the right elbow. Release the left elbow. And roll the shoulders. Now, reach over the top of your head, and we're going to stretch the neck out a bit. So reach over with your right hand, grab just above your left ear, and pull your head down over to the right side while pressing into your right hand with your head, and draw that left shoulder down away from your ear. The key is to press into the hand with the head for that yin-yang effect. You should feel a stretch all along the left side of your neck. Release the head. Now reach over with your left hand and grab the right side of your head with your middle finger just above the ear and pull it over to the left side, drawing that right shoulder down and pressing into your left hand with your the right side of your head. It's never just like a pull. There's always a push to every pull. You root down to rise. There's always yin and yang with yoga. Don't force anything. Don't push too hard. Just it should feel natural. Release the head. Palms back down along the side. Lengthen the neck up. Raise that crown of your head. Drive those shoulders down. Shift your gaze down, and we're going to do half moons with our head, and with our eyes we're going to trace the imaginary collar of our shirt. So shift the gaze down and start to sway to the left, tracing that imaginary collar of your shirt very slowly with your eyes. Now slowly make your way to the right side. Back over to the left. And back over to the right. Make your way back to the center. Shift the gaze up. Roll the shoulders around. Hands at heart center. And remind yourself of the intentions you set for today's practice. Ask yourself, did you meet them? Or if you dedicate it to someone, let them know. Just they'll maybe appreciate it and might be inspired to do some yoga or a little yin for themselves. I thank you for letting me guide your practice today. Namaste, and you all have a wonderful day. Peace.